You are here in this faith and business session because there is something in you, which is the faith in God, that brought you here, or you won't be here. If all you wanted is business, you would have listened to other person who is teaching how to build business out there. Remember when Peter, he was a fisherman, and he would catch fish. He would catch a lot of fish. And then at one point, the apostle Peter was recruited by Jesus to be one of his followers, disciple, and come follow me. And Peter left the boat. I think he brought in his two brothers, James and John, and they all followed Jesus. I will make you a fisher of men. Like, I consider myself that. I'm a fisher of men. I fish men for faith, and I fish men for business. So I will make you fisher of men. Now, what happened? He followed Jesus for 3 years. After 3 years, when Jesus was about to be caught, and he was caught, Peter denied Jesus because he was afraid and said, I don't know him. When he was asked, aren't you one of his followers? He said, no, I'm not. He wasn't there when Jesus was crucified. We don't know where he was. But then Jesus is forgiving God. He forgave Peter. Later, Peter went back to fishing again. He said, my master is gone, so I'm going to go back fishing. So he went out fishing again. You know what happens? He could not catch any fish anymore because he was a fisher of man. That's what his calling is, that Jesus told him. So like I am a fisher of man, but I am also a fisher of men for faith and for business. So you are here because you are a business person who is also a follower of Christ. And you build your business according to kingdom principles, not anymore according to secular principle. And you know what happens when you follow and you go through what's called the kingdom principle? You get a whole lot of help from God. Like, I believe the people that work with me, that I got recruited and that joined me and built the business, God sent them to me. I could see it now, looking back. Because the very first day I joined this business, close to 20 years now, those two people I recruited and called for this business that we have, they built this whole business for me in the last 20 years, those two. But then I continued recruiting more until I have 12. So I'm what's called the 6-8-12 in our business. 6-8-12-7, which means I have 12 different groups. Like Jesus have 12 disciples. I'm a 6-8-12. You study our compensation plan in the business. You see how that works. When God empowers you, business becomes a whole lot easier. But you have to keep on praying every day. Connect to God every day. Jesus said, you are in the world, but you do not belong to the world. Doesn't apply to us all of the time. Sometimes the world rules, the business rules are like just for the profit, for the money of their business, and ours is different. It becomes a whole lot easier, I'm telling you. When you seek first the kingdom, and you said all these things that you are looking for will be added unto you. What happened is like when Peter saw Jesus one day walking during a storm on the water, Peter jumped out of the boat towards Jesus. He could do it. He could walk. So we have the benefit of the miraculous when we are looking at Jesus, even in business. This kingdom building business is a big thing today because the world is changing. There's something in the scripture I learned a long time ago, that the wealth of the wicked will be transferred to the righteous. So be a righteous. Be a follower of Jesus and catch those transfers. Like I'm here in Staten Island in a very nice home that used to be owned by some rich person, and then it became mine. I have another beautiful house in Florida by the ocean and a boat. And then I go home to the Philippines and I have another house in the Philippines. I'm telling you, there are so many things in the scriptures. We are children of Abraham. Learn the thing, what God promised to Abraham, where God said, I will bless you and your children and your children's children. I will bless you and the whole world will be blessed through you. God promised that to Abraham. I'm a grandchild of Abraham. You have to understand, if you're a Christian, you are too. You are entitled to the promises to Abraham. You're gonna be the head and not the tail.